Hi friends, this is going to be our last video on magnetostatics. So we are going to look into magnetization now. So when we take a material and place it in external magnetic field, it will get magnetized. Magnetized means tiny dipoles with net alignment along a certain direction will be formed. And this we describe by magnetization, which is given by capital M is equal to the magnetic dipole moment per unit volume. And this value depends on the material and it is a vector quantity. Just like how we saw in dielectrics that the polarization capital P was equal to electric dipole moment per unit volume. Just like how in dielectrics we had surface bound charge density and volume bound charge density, which was surface bound charge density sigma B was P bar dot n hat and volume charge density rho B was minus del bar dot P bar. Here also we have the surface bound current, that is KB is equal to M bar dot, instead of dot we are having cross because this is a vector quantity. And we have a volume bound current JB, which is del bar cross M bar. We don't have the negative sign here. Now considering Ampere's law in magnetized materials, just like we considered Gauss' law in dielectrics, you can look that up in EMT part 7. We have del cross B is equal to mu naught J bar. J here will consist of both the bound as well as the free currents. This will be J bar, that is del cross M, so we have mu naught del bar cross M bar plus J free. Take this term here, we'll have del bar cross B bar upon mu naught minus M bar is equal to J free. This is del bar cross H bar is equal to J free, where here B is equal to mu naught H plus M. So del cross H is J free and del cross M is J bound. The integral form here will be integration H bar dot dl bar is equal to I free enclosed. You can use this equation when in problems you are considering cylindrical, or in problems when you have cylindrical, plane or toroidal symmetry. At that time you can use this equation to get the value of H. Now we'll consider this B equals to mu naught H plus M. This is the relation between B, H and M. But what is the relation between H and M? That is M is equal to chi M into H, where this chi M is called as the magnetic susceptibility. Materials which obey this equation are called as linear media. Now, B is equal to mu naught H plus M. Put this value of M here, we'll have mu naught H plus chi M into H. That is mu naught 1 plus chi M into H, which is equal to mu into H. This mu is the permeability of the medium. Then we are having the relative permeability mu R, which is mu upon mu naught is equal to 1 plus chi m. Just like we had relative permittivity epsilon r, which was epsilon upon epsilon naught is equal to 1 plus chi e. In free space, we do not have any matter to magnetize. Then there the magnetic susceptibility chi m will be 0. When chi m becomes 0, mu will be equal to mu naught. When mu equals mu naught, the relative permittivity will be equal to 1. And also when chi m is equal to 0, the magnetization m is also equal to 0. Let's consider the example of a solenoid now. Let me consider this as the z-axis. This is a solenoid which is carrying a current I. Let's say this is carrying a current I in this direction. Okay. Infinite solenoid. Now case 1 is for air-filled solenoid. That is, inside we are having air, we do not have any magnetic material inside the solenoid. Then we already know the magnetic field inside will be mu naught Ni. The direction will be z hat direction. This is the z hat direction. And the magnetic field outside will be 0. Since there is no material to magnetize, so the magnetization in the inside will also be 0, magnetization outside will also be 0. And since this is a symmetry problem, because it is an infinite solenoid, we can use Ampere's law, and from that we are having h bar inside will be equal to Ni, z hat and h bar outside will be equal to 0. Now case 2 is when this solenoid is filled with a linear material with magnetic susceptibility chi m. Then inside the magnetic field will be, instead of mu naught, which was permeability of free space, now becomes permeability of the material into Ni z hat. And we know mu is equal to what? We saw mu r is equal to mu upon mu naught. So mu is mu naught into mu r. This will become mu naught mu r Ni z hat direction. Again, outside as it is, magnetic field outside will be 0. Now since we are having a material inside and it is already given that it is a linear material, so it obeys this equation. M inside chi m will be equal to h, and h is here Ni and chi m will be Ni z hat. Magnetization outside will be 0. H inside, again using that Ampere's law, or we can also use this equation, B is equal to mu naught or mu, whichever, H plus M. We can get H inside will be Ni z hat. Now it is because of only the free current, and H out is again 0. This was just an example for understanding, that's it. Now the value of chi m magnetic susceptibility is less than 0 for diamagnetic materials. Diamagnetic materials are those in which the induced dipole moment point opposite to the magnetic field. And chi m is a small positive value for paramagnetic materials, and it is a large positive value for ferromagnetic materials. In electrostatics, we have seen the potential energy of a system was U is equal to epsilon naught by 2 integration over all space E squared d tau, and if we had a dielectric material, then it became 1 by 2 integration d bar dot E bar d tau, right? Here in magnetostatics we have U will be equal to epsilon, 1 by epsilon becomes mu naught, so 1 by 2 mu naught integration over all space V squared d tau. And in place of, if we have a magnetic material, then this becomes 1 by 2 integration H bar dot B bar d tau. Then the energy density, that is the energy, magnetic energy, this, let's call this magnetic, let's call this electric. Magnetic energy per unit volume, if you consider this, the volume will come down, you'll have B square upon 2 mu naught And if you consider this, then we have the formula h bar dot b bar upon 2. That is with the energy density, energy per unit volume. Now we'll have boundary conditions. Boundary conditions for magnetic field we have already seen is del bar cross b bar is equal to mu naught k and del bar dot b bar is equal to 0. And for dielectrics we saw d perpendicular above minus d perpendicular below is equal to sigma free, and we had p perpendicular above minus p perpendicular below is equal to minus sigma bound, and we had del bar cross d bar is equal to del bar cross p bar. Remember, right? Here we will have h parallel above minus h parallel below will be equal to k free, and h perpendicular above minus h perpendicular below will be equal to minus m perpendicular above minus m perpendicular below. This is nothing but del bar dot h bar is equal to minus del bar dot m bar. Here we have one problem now. This is the x, y, and this is the axis. The xy plane is the boundary between free space and magnetic material. So let's assume that below this xy plane we have a magnetic material with magnetic or relative permeability mu r, and above this we are having free space. The magnetic field in the free space is given by bx I hat plus bz k hat. We have to find the magnetic field inside in the magnetic material with relative permeability mu r. Now here b above total is equal to bx I hat plus bz k hat, and we have to find what is b below the boundary between the free space and this magnetic material. We know the formulas. B perpendicular above is equal to B perpendicular below. So the perpendicular component, that is perpendicular to this xy plane, is the k hat component, right? Z direction is perpendicular to this xy plane. So this is the perpendicular component, and this I hat, which is along the x direction, is the parallel component. Okay. So B perpendicular above is equal to B perpendicular below. What is the perpendicular component above is BZ. BZ is equal to B perpendicular below. Therefore, B perpendicular below is equal to BZ. So in this we are having some term into I hat plus some term into k hat. K hat is the perpendicular component, and that is BZ. Now we have to fill this part. That means we need the parallel component below. And we also know h parallel above minus h parallel below is equal to k free. At the interface, k free is equal to 0. So we have h parallel above is equal to h parallel below. Solving this, h is nothing but we have b is equal to mu naught h plus m, right? So if you remove m, we will have only b equals to mu naught or mu whatever it will be, mu into h. So h will be equal to b by mu. Mu will be mu naught in free space and mu will be mu naught into mu r in this magnetic material. So h parallel above, that is free space, we will have b parallel above upon mu naught. H parallel below, that is this magnetic material, we will have b parallel below divided by mu naught into mu r. Now what is b parallel above? It is bx. So this comes to be bx, mu naught and mu naught cancels, and we'll have b parallel above is equal to mu r into bx. put this value here, and the parallel component below is mu r into Bx. So this is the magnetic field in the magnetic material, mu r Bx I hat plus Bz k hat. Here we are done with electrostatics and magnetostatics. The next part is to combine both of them, and that we will look in the next part. But a point to note is that the problems that I solve here are not necessarily the most important problems. They are just some problems which may help you to understand the theory or the formulas that we look and how to implement them. But there are a large number of problems which are needed to be solved in order to understand and in order to be able to clear this exam. So look into previous year questions and other websites, or you have question booklets or your own books and stuffs like that, and find out the problems, solve them, because just looking at the theory and the formulas that I give you, you will feel like we can do it, but when you do the problem, you will understand the actual steps and where you are lagging. Okay then, peace be upon you.